Welcome to Tinman podcast. Today I'm honored to introduce a good friend of mine, and I'm actually excited because he's a pro bodybuilder, and I have so many questions. And anybody that's been on stage or bodybuilds know that's not an easy sport, man. I want to welcome to the Tinman podcast. Welcome, Brett.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you for having me. It's literally a pleasure and honor to be here with you. Thank you for that intro. You make me feel more prestigious than I actually am.
Dog.
Sometimes I forget that, but no, thank you for that reminder, and I appreciate you gassing me up a little bit. That's good.
Man.
It's a good way to start, right?
Yeah, but like you know what, like I'm into bodybuilding, and I see you at the gym all the time, and I feel like that gym, the Gym Vista where we go, it's full of people that are into the sport,
For sure.
and
It's certainly different than like your standard fitness type gym or facility. I mean, it's a grinder gym.
Yeah.
Where people want to go and they want to progress.
yeah, and be like, man, that guy over there, he must. What does he do? You know what I'm saying? And like, you're a pro bodybuilder, man.
It's a lot of the same stuff. It's very repetitious. It's like Groundhog Day. Every day is literally, it seems like the same, but that's what builds a champion. That's
Yeah.
what builds a pro is consistency.
Yeah,
So that's always, at least I have found that that's probably one of the most important key elements is just consistency, whether
Yeah.
it be consistency in the gym, consistency with your food. We're talking earlier, consistency with rest.
yeah.
The keeping all those variables as consistent as possible, and that's where you'll see the progress happen.
Can you let the audience know how old are you?
I am 54. Yes.
That's why I'm like so impressed,
54.
man. 54.
It's a lot of work, but it's the kind of work I really enjoy. It's
Yeah.
fun. If I didn't have a passion for this,
Yeah,
and if it felt like work,
yeah,
of course I wouldn't do it. But I love it. I mean, it's my passion in a lot of ways. I found it's kind of my purpose.
yeah.
Like I went a long time through life being 54. I've seen a lot, experienced a lot, and I never really had a purpose in life. And it seems like when I stumbled upon this in competing back in 2014 is when I first started. That was like when it kind of locked in. It's like, I think this is something that I can do, but most of all, something I can really enjoy. And like I said, I have found a purpose in life because of this.
And the way I met him, I used to see him at the gym. I still see him, real quiet, real humble, man, real polite. And I was like, man, this guy's big. He got mannerisms, and he's polite as shit. Like real nice guy, man. And it's like, I'm like, hey, what do I do? Like when I was going on stage.
I remember when
Yeah.
you went through prep, man,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were dialed in. You looked really good.
Thank you.
Your coach had you where you needed to be. You looked amazing.
Yeah, man.
Great job.
Marcos is a great coach.
He is.
Young kid, but he's
He's a good guy. He knows
good
his
guy.
stuff too.
Yeah.
So he's, how we've talked about
Yeah.
coaches a little bit. He's one of the good ones. He's one that you can trust through the process.
Yes.
Like, he's not going to steer you wrong.
No.
He's going to put you on stage how you need to look
Mhm.
versus just, filling your head with a bunch of air and not, not get you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
He's going to get you there regardless of what you may want to resist along the way. It don't matter. He's going to push you to make sure that you come in time.
Man, that guy stayed up with me till midnight.
Mhm.
Made sure I had my meals. Before our time got set back, right? You know how I say sometimes the time gets set back. He went, got a muffin. He's like, here, you gotta eat this.
Yeah.
He was there the whole time, man. He just didn't say, hey, call me how it goes. He was there. We got there Airbnb, and he was there all night. He was with me all night. We were practicing our runs. And I was like, man, I thought this shit was a little easier,
Mm-hmm.
But like after midnight, then no salt on the food. Just gotta eat it plain.
Oh yeah.
If you get put back on time.
There are a lot of parameters
Yeah.
there peak weekend, especially the day or the day before a show and
Yeah.
the day of the show. All those variables, man. It's basically you have three variables, which same thing with progress, same thing within a peak week or even dialing you in for a show. Water, sodium, carbs. Those are the three key elements, and if you could dial those three in, you're going to present a perfect package. And the fact that you had a coach with you literally step by step there with you in person, that's a sign of not only a good coach, but a dedicated coach.
Difference.
Yes,
Very.
big difference, man, because most will not do that.
No.
Most are going to leave you hanging. I've had to, trust me, I've run through a number of coaches in my career, and I've had a couple literally the day of the show just ghosting me. I had to come up with the plan on my own.
That's
And
crazy.
that's not fun to do.
No.
It's frustrating, especially when you pay somebody money
Yeah.
to be there for you and get you dialed in, especially the day of the show. For them to ghost you like that, hey, man. What is it? That's a
crazy.
problem. That's a big problem.
Right? And like people don't understand how hard is peak week. Peak week is not easy.
It's not, as long as you come in, it can't be easy, and it can't. Obviously, every day during peak week, the carbs are changed, the water's adjust, the sodium's adjust. I mean, there's a lot of adjustments and variables that are being implemented. But if you come into that peak week pretty much ready to go in terms of body fat levels, you don't have to do a whole lot of tweaking other than, like I said, the 3 variables: water, sodium, carbs. You manipulate those 3 things in the correct order, or the correct way, and also based on visuals. It's not like a one size fits all.
Yeah.
It's not like you are going to react the same as 100 other clients. Everybody's different. So it's all about visuals and what you're seeing and making those proper adjustments along the way to have you dialed in perfect when you step on that stage.
It's crazy how like you get ready, you're 16 or 20 weeks, right? Prepping. And some people, you can go to stage flat. You can get on stage flat.
Of course.
And it's like,
it's happened to me.
you can overspill, right? You can overspill too.
You could go too much. You could go too little. And you're trying to dial it in perfectly. I mean, to nail a stage look at 100%, not to say that it's easy, and not to say that it's going to happen every time. You should be able to get very close, but there are going to be times where you're not 100%. You might be 95. I'll take it, considering you could be washed out and watery because you overdid it either with the carbs, the water, or the sodium. Or you could be flat, where you're shredded, you're peeled to the bone, but just you're two-dimensional. Nothing's popping. And that's, once again, water, sodium, and carbs. So you want to try to make the right adjustments, which is sometimes your body reacts a little differently than what you want. And so sometimes it's not going to be 100%. Like I said, might be 95. It could be 98. If you can nail it somewhere in those upper 90s, I think you pretty much had a very, very successful, not only prep, but stage presence.
Right. And how important is the stage presence?
Very important. So, I mean, it's not just rolling in and getting on stage and hitting a couple poses. There's way more to it than that. A lot of guys literally they'll practice their posing. Most always do. But there's also a process within that, it's not just the poses. It's when you walk out, how you're acknowledging the judges, how you're setting up your first pose. And then when they throw you on the diagonal while other people are posing, what are you supposed to do there? So there are a number of things that, I call it stage management. It's not just going out, doing your routine, and then you forget about it. It's walking out there, you do your routine, you're on the diagonal, judges are still judging you when you're on the diagonal. In fact, if anything, they're probably doing more judging off the diagonal than the person doing their routine in the middle. They may be glancing at him, but they're judging while you're on the diagonal. Some guys are just standing there nice and relaxed. That's the dumbest thing you could do, because what they're seeing on that diagonal is how they're going to end up making their first call-outs.
That's crazy, huh?
It is. So stage presence, stage management, being mindful, always watching that head judge. What is he doing? Always staying ready. I mean, there's a lot to it. And then even just when you come out and they call you out, you're in a certain order, there's a way to even manage that. Like if they have you moving, walk out in front of everybody. You want to be seen the whole time. You walk behind the line, to me, that's kind of a beta move. You want to be alpha on that stage. You want to be the man. You want to be the champion. So you're walking out in front of everybody. You don't walk behind anyone. You make them come on the inside of you. It's just little subtle things like that that make a big difference when the judges are watching you.
Man, it's crazy. I was so nervous when I was like, okay, I'll do the back. I was like, hey, but you know what happened?
Nerves are definitely going to be there, especially like on your first show. Holy moly. I remember the first one I did. There's so many things I thought in my head that I needed to remember on stage. I forgot all of it. Literally, it was all instinct at that point. And if you don't have the instincts down as far as stage management, your posing, everything else, you're not remembering none of that. Literally, man, you're going to forget it because you got lights on.
Yeah.
You got a crowd of a few hundred people. You got
Yeah.
judges. You're on a stage. And it's like that is going to be the overwhelming part of it. So a lot of guys, whatever you thought about that you're going to be thinking on that stage, your mind is blank. You're literally you're going through natural instincts. So you better practice your posing and everything else because you're not thinking of any of that other stuff.
You know, I did my first show was Anaheim. That's a big show.
It is, it's not small.
And,
It's intimidating. You're going to have a good group of guys out there. It's going to be competitive.
And I got to 10 with all the pros. So all the pros that I went, because they said you got to be there in the morning. So like, the lady goes, everybody here's pretty big. You're a pro? And I was like, no. She was like, well, the pros are getting 10 right now. I said, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I'm there with all these big ass dudes.
Oh, yeah.
The classic ones.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so you really had the big boys in there.
There were 25 of them.
Well, there's always a stark difference between amateur size and pro size. There really is. Especially when you're comparing an amateur men's physique to a men's pro and classic.
Big,
holy shit.
Big difference.
There's like about a 15 to 20 pound difference, and it's very evident when everybody is lean and shredded and it's just almost pure muscle. A 15 to 20 pound difference in muscle is big. Monumental. So yes, I would feel dwarfed standing next to a classic pro because they're always about 8 to 10 pounds bigger than me.
Hey, those guys were big, man. I was like, there's this guy from Japan.
Yeah.
He was short like my size, but he was huge, man. I was just like.
Some of them have real sneaky size. And you know, it's interesting. It's like some guys, say like Breon.
Yeah.
Perfect example. That guy looks and is enormous. It's like, how does that guy make that weight cap?
Yeah.
He's got to have hollow bones. He's got to be a bird. And I know some guys that like, they look big, but their weight is way higher than actually how they look. In fact, I got a good friend that would be perfect for classic, but he's like 15 plus pounds over when he's shredded. So all he could do is like men's heavyweight bodybuilding, and he's severely undersized. He's just one of those guys that weighs a lot more than he looks. So it works against him when you have a weight cap like classic, because he could never make a classic weight cap. And if he tried, he would have to hemorrhage so much muscle to get down there. He would end up looking the size of a men's physique versus a classic guy. So he can't even do classic for that reason alone. So that has a lot to do with it as well. Some guys carry weight well, like a Breon. How on earth, like I said, how he makes weight, I have no clue, but he looks 15 to 20 pounds heavier than he actually weighs in at.
Who's that? What's his name? He does classic. He's from Canada. What's his name?
Seabone?
No.
The one you retired, or?
No, he's younger. He lives in Vegas.
Shit, you just named like half the classic pro. They're all in Vegas now.
Yeah, but he's from Canada. He's Canadian.
Okay.
What's his name?
It'll come to you at some point.
I met him at in Vegas. I went to a gym, and I said, "Hey man, you're pretty big." That's what I said. I was a big boy, and then he was like,
"What you do?"
Yeah, he was like, "You know who I am?" I said, "No, but you look like a bodybuilder." And he was like, I'm a pro. He's an Olympian bodybuilder.
Okay, so he's Olympia qualified as well.
Yeah.
He must be a big boy. He must have a really, really good shape as well.
What's his name?
It's the only way you go to the Olympia. You got to win a pro show, and that is not easy.
No, yeah, he's an Olympian. And he was there doing like, what's his name? He's big, dude. His legs are huge.
They have to be.
Dude, his legs are like, I couldn't believe. I was like, hey, man, like.
Well, oftentimes, like, people see me and they automatically think, oh, you compete in classics. Like, man, I would get smoked in classic.
Yeah.
It's like your size, I would have thought you were classic. Even like my massage therapist, who she works on tons of pros. First time I saw her, it's like, you're a classic pro, right? It's like, no, not even close.
Well, yeah,
and I'm a solid 12 pounds below their weight cap. But just,
you're big.
I got a little bit of size, but but if you stand me next to an actual classic pro, then you see the difference. Like, oh, okay, now I get it. But just me by myself, sure, I could probably blend in with a classic guy until you get a group of classics or even one really good one. It's like, okay, now I see the stark difference between the two divisions.
Yeah.
And, you get a lot of people online. It's like, oh, these men's physique guys, oh, they're just classic guys in board shorts. It's like, if you really stacked us up against or put us side by
The
side with
difference.
enormous difference.
Yeah.
So I think people are a little jaded until they actually see it. It's like, oh Lord, okay, classic guys are actually pretty damn big.
Yeah.
And they are. They're huge.
Like as a sport, I feel like bodybuilding is not easy. It's it takes a lot of money. It takes
Oh, man,
it's,
it's a real expensive sport.
yeah,
I
it
just,
is.
I would estimate a standard prep for me is going to run me about $5,000,
Easy.
top to bottom.
Easy.
That's coaching, food, supplements. If you have to fly to it, airfare, Ubers, taxis, hotel, event costs, whatever, any airport parking,
Yeah.
all of it, man, all
Yeah.
that combined.
It's
I mean, you're
expensive.
a solid $4,000. I mean, the poor, the bikini girls, those suits are like 800 to
Yeah.
$1,000 just for the suit alone.
Yeah.
At least I could buy, a $60, $70 pair of board shorts and call it a day. Those girls, man, they're spending like $1,000 just on the suit
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
That's not including a posing coach, a prep coach, all the other stuff that goes along with it. So the girls, they're really, they have a tough task ahead of
They
them when
do.
it comes to finances.
They
man,
do.
'cause it's real expensive for them.
And some of those women, man, that go on stage, they look incredible, man.
Oh, they do, of course.
They look incredible. You're
I'm
just like,
telling you, the girls can handle the stress and the suffering of a prep way better than a guy. My favorite prep clients
Yeah.
are always female, man, because they follow the plan perfectly. They may have some questions here and
Yeah.
there, but I never have to worry about them deviating from the plan.
yeah.
Where the guys, I'm telling you, Fry, for my, at least for my clients that compete, typically their first time around, they're going to deviate from the plan. And it happens. I understand it. My first prep, trust me, I was eating every time I felt hungry, I was eating. And then when I showed up, I was like, I made a serious mistake here because I looked 4 weeks out and these guys are dialed. And I thought I was coming in perfect. It was humbling and embarrassing, all mixed in.
How much of a difference does it make, like the food? Like, let's say in the first couple of weeks you're cheating, you're eating, like, say, honey buns, donuts.
Oh shit!
Hey,
man. Yeah,
at the end of the day, on
Uh-huh.
peak week, you'll see the body transform day by day, right? Every
Of
day,
course.
your body just looks different. It's crazy how the science works. But like,
It is, yeah.
if you cheated so many times, like mid prep, on show day,
It's going to show.
gonna show.
It really is, especially if you're cheating down the stretch.
Yeah.
If you say did a 16-week prep and
Yeah.
you're off plan a little bit for the first 4 weeks, it's probably not going to make really too much of an impact unless you really went overboard. But I would say 4 weeks in, if you are doing anything different other than the plan,
No.
it's going to affect how you look on stage.
Yeah.
And the closer you get to stage time, the more that you're eating and going off a plan, it's going to show.
It does.
And it shows. And I'm proof positive that eating off plan and during a prep, all you got to do is look at my pictures from my first show. It's like, man, that's horrific. That was bad.
Like, you as the one being on stage, you're the worst critic because everybody can tell you look good.
Of course. And they all do. Everyone's going to gas you up.
Yeah.
Most people will never be honest with you.
Yeah.
Other than probably your coach. And your coach should always be honest with
Yeah.
you. He should not be gassing you up either. If you are not there and you're not ready, or if you're not progressing how you should, he or she needs to be speaking up immediately. And if
Yeah.
they are just, glossing over the fact that, you may not be on pace to make it to stage how you need to look, they need to step in and say something if they're not honest. But yeah, all your friends, because they see you versus themselves, which they're probably not competitors.
Yeah.
So of course you look amazing. Even though like you're 8 weeks out, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you got abs, man. You look
Yeah.
phenomenal. You're ready. It's like, not even close. I got about 20 pounds to go, but thank you for the compliment. I appreciate the support.
Big. You're like, damn, when you start getting abs, you're like, damn. And it's like, people say, oh, I do 1,000 crunches. It's all in the kitchen.
Oh,
as long as you
yeah,
eat
no,
and you do your
crunches don't do
cardio,
anything.
they don't, right?
No, they really don't, especially like on abs. They get so much work anyway. It's like, not that I don't recommend, say, doing ab exercises, but for the most part, through your normal training of like a leg day or a back day, you're using them anyways.
Yeah.
So for the most part, you don't really have to train abs too much. In fact, and here's at least for me, for years, I always had really shallow abs and they're still not great, but I always wore a belt.
Yeah.
And then I was always doing ab exercises as well. Zero progress on my abs. It wasn't until I literally took the belt off, quit using it, because now I'm engaging the core on everything. And I actually quit training abs, and guess what?
You got abs.
Abs got better, they got deeper. So it's like, that was what I was waiting for. That's what I needed. And yet I was training them literally. I was prioritizing. There was a year I prioritized abs and did abs almost every single workout to start that workout. The difference between the pictures from one show to the next, literally the same. It's like, so I made zero progress over a year prioritizing abs. So it's like, fine, belt comes off. I'm trying a different approach.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna train them at all. Let's see what happens. They grew. Imagine that.
That's crazy because I tell people on my prep, I didn't do abs.
Don't need to.
And that's when I figured out. I was like, I didn't do abs at all.
You don't need to. Some do. I mean,
Yeah.
there are some guys that they can do abs and they progress, but just
It doesn't make.
it's one of those muscles that just it's constantly engaged. So it's very tough to then all of a sudden do exercises to build them. It's not like a fast twitch muscle that could be your chest or your arms or shoulders or even legs. It's those will respond
Yeah.
to training stimulus. Where your abs, they're engaged all day. Same thing kind of like your calves. I don't care what people say. All I'm going to say is directly at camera. Calves are mainly genetic.
They are, right?
You mean?
Thank you. Thank you.
For the people that say, oh, you could grow your calves just as easily as any other body part,
No.
I guarantee they are born with good calves.
Yeah.
And it all has to do with the insertions of your calves. The lower the insertion, the bigger they're going to be.
Yeah.
The higher the insertion, they're not going to be as big. And a lot of that has to do with either genetics or, sometimes even just nationality. Like Asians have huge calves.
They do.
They have huge calves. And just genetically, they are, the way they
Their
insert,
legs,
the way those calves insert, they're golden. Where like, some black guys, they have really high inserts, so their calves are not that great. Granted, there are plenty of offshoots where some have huge calves, or even there could be an Asian guy that has small calves, but typically just genetics alone
It's big.
is basically gonna tell you if you're gonna have good calf development or not. And the ones that have big calves, like almost find it's like, you training them? How if you train them?
They don't.
I've never done a calf exercise in my life, and they're
I know.
so yeah, that's probably the one muscle. Abs and calves are very tough to bring along through training just because they're constantly getting stimulus.
Yeah.
But also just based on how they insert into your legs.
Yeah.
And that's into your legs.
It's genetics.
Your tibia and fibula where they're hitting. If they're way up high, you can develop them. You can probably get them a little bigger, but they're always going to be small. They insert super low.
I was
They're going to be big regardless.
Genetics on your legs, I just say your legs. If you have good genetics,
it helps.
It helps big time.
It certainly helps.
Yeah.
Also, where the muscles tie in and everything else. Like for me, like my quad, my legs are not the greatest or furthest thing from it, but just even where the muscles insert on my legs make them look different than say somebody that has really crazy insertions on their quads where they insert super low down by the kneecap. They just look enormous. And then when you put a tape measure on each guy, it's like, well, the guy that looks like he has smaller legs are actually bigger than the guy that has that look bigger, but it's simply just based on the genetics and where they insert. So that has a lot to do with it too.
Is that true that on the men's physique now, for being on stage, they're gonna require a little bit more legs? Is that true?
They are. Yeah, they did a couple things. For one, they have a requirement on the shorts.
Yeah.
They got to be a couple inches above the knee.
So they can see the legs.
Probably, you don't want them skin tight, but you want them pretty snug so they can at least see the development. So it's not like they're really judging strictly on the leg, but they want to see balance from top to bottom. They don't want to see a big ass upper body and then skinny little legs.
Yeah.
They want balance from top to bottom. And as long as you could deliver that, once again, it doesn't really matter how developed they are or how cut they are or how detailed they are, as long as you have balance from top to bottom and it makes sense, you have good symmetry, then your legs are good.
Let me ask you this: as a pro, A lot of people be like, when I do back,
Yeah.
I do half shoes and back.
Okay.
I hit my half shoes and back. Uh, then you have your leg day, right? Then you have your quad day. But I learned that from a bodybuilder,
Hmm.
and I've never left that workout. You know, like I always tell people, I do back or hamstrings. I'll start off with hamstrings,
Hmm.
then I'll just hit back, but then I have a back day with back and biceps.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the back and hamstrings?
Whatever split works good for you. If you're
Yeah.
making progress on both your back and hams, combining them in the same
But do you think it
workout,
makes sense? Like
in some
you
cases, yeah, like if you're doing RDLs, like Romanian deadlifts,
yes. Yeah.
that's definitely working your lower back, your erectors, everything else, but also it's
Uh-huh.
working your glutes and your hams as
Yeah.
well. So if you're doing that type of exercise, you might as well blend in some hamstring curl,
Yeah,
so
that's
the
what I
leg
do.
curls and things
Yeah.
like that. That will then make it a back
Yeah.
slash
Yeah.
hamstring day.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like I do laying down. I start with the lay down or then sit down and maybe some deadlifts.
Hmm.
Deadlift back, but on my back day
Definitely.
I'll do pull-ups. Pull-ups
Okay.
and just like rows and that's it.
I mean, there is no one size fits all
Yeah.
on training splits. I mean,
Like
I've seen some bizarre stuff out there, man, where some really crazy combinations. But once again, it comes down to progress. Are you progressing? Are you growing? Are your lifts progressing? Are you getting stronger? Because that's the name of the game when it comes to training, progressive overload. A lot of guys, they're implementing a bunch of different splits and different exercises
mhm.
and always switching things up. It's like, well, how are you gauging your progress? Like, I don't know, I'm not. It's like, well, yeah, you can't when you're constantly switching things
Yeah.
up. So my my programming, my training protocols, they're very boring because you're going to stick with the same program
Yeah.
for a very long time. The only time I start switching out exercises is when progress has slowed or stalled completely. Then I'm going to throw in another exercise. But otherwise, we're sticking to the same plan, and I want to see small incremental changes, not necessarily week to week, but every couple weeks to 3 weeks, you should be adding either more reps. And if your reps are going up, then you add more weight. And I always like to stick within about that 5 to 8 rep category. You can go higher, but just me personally, and what I see the most progress with my clients, typically staying in that 5 to 8 rep range
Mhm.
on your working sets. Take those to failure or 1 rep in reserve,
Mhm.
and that's where the growth is gonna come from, that's where the progress is gonna
Yeah.
come from. You can certainly do higher reps if you want, that's your choice, but normally where the muscle building process is going to happen is typically when you are doing a set and your reps start to slow down.
Yeah.
That is where the work is happening. Everything that leads up to that is just filler. So if you're That's why I like to stay within 5 to 8 because you get to that slow rep very quickly. Versus say if you did a set of 20, it may take you 15 reps to get to the slowing portion where the work and the progress is really going to happen. So those first 15, you're really just building fatigue.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. So get rid of the junk, get rid of the fatigue, get right to the work.
Yeah.
Therefore, your progress will increase or get better, and you reduce the fatigue considerably. So therefore, you're recovering and progressing faster.
I like that.
So
And
it's
you,
just a little bit different training style. Some people love it. Some people love just high reps, and that's what they progress on. They progress on. So everyone is different. Like I said,
yeah.
long story short, through all this, there's no one size fits all when it comes to training.
Yeah.
You have to try different things, and trust me, I've tried everything, and I've landed on this. And so far, so good. I really enjoy the lower reps, the 5 to 8. And that's where I've been seeing the most progress and including my clients. I
Yeah.
see that as well, but some, they don't progress there and we have to maybe keep it a little
Yeah.
higher. So everyone is different. You have to be willing to change, willing to experiment and try different things.
And you as a coach, nowadays, what do you think coaches are missing, like when they're transforming somebody's body? Like, you think they're not attentive enough, or they don't know what they're doing? Because I feel like it's easy to cut somebody, right? You can learn that on
You
YouTube.
just get them shredded.
Yeah,
Man,
that's me.
that's all you care about.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
reduce the food and
That's all. And
get the
that can
cardio in
happen.
there to just get them shredded. There's one
Yeah,
goal in mind, get them
yeah.
cut.
But
Growth is a little different
it is
because
big difference.
yeah,
Big
so
difference.
you're trying to balance muscle growth, but not putting on too much body fat.
Yeah.
So, obviously weight is very important, but visuals. You
Yes.
have to have very good check-ins from your clients, sending you the right progress
Mhm.
pics in good lighting, consistent lighting. I've had some clients like they're taking shots like in the dark. It's like I can't. And then the next time they're in a well-lit room, next time they may be outside. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to like compare stuff. It's just it gets very tough. So once again, make those variables consistent on your check-ins.
Yeah.
So visuals are key
Yeah.
to somebody in a progress phase or a growth phase that you really need to rely on what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So the weight is going up and yet they're getting softer. It's like, okay, we need to change something. Either reduce the food, maybe maybe adjust where you're implementing carbs versus not. It could be fats. I mean, it could be a number of different things, but then, if you see someone softening up, then you need to rethink the plan.
Yeah. People think like it's easy after peak week, but after peak week,
Oh,
how hard is it, man? You
bro.
can gain 10, 15 pounds.
I'm going
Like,
through it
think-
right now. You guys, okay. During prep, you have a goal.
Yeah.
And that's to show up shredded.
Yeah.
That's all you're thinking about.
Yeah.
You got friends that are watching you, family that's watching you. You don't want to embarrass yourself. So you had a goal. Therefore, you're going to stick to the plan. Post show, there's no goal. The goal is gone. Now all you have is to rely literally on your own self-motivation
Yeah.
to not eat like an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's far tougher post-show
Yeah.
because once again, no goal. It's just completely up to you to manage your food intake. And that's very tough coming off of a prep because you've been starving
Yeah.
for 12, 16 weeks.
Yeah.
And you got all kinds of amazing food in front of you, and it's very easy just to dive in. But I'm telling you, post-show, that first week, yes, enjoy a couple of meals, but by the end of that first week and you've gone back to at least hopefully a healthy diet,
Yeah.
you should really gain no more than about 5 to 6 pounds that first week. And that
Yeah.
all that is just water and sodium loading back into your body. If you're one of those after the first week post-show and you're 20, 30 pounds up, you did it way wrong.
Yeah.
Way wrong.
Yeah.
And if anything, the health risks alone
It's dangerous.
gain it very because
Dangerous.
think of it this way. Like if you put on, I've known people, man, they put on over 30 pounds in that
Yeah.
first week. That's equivalent. You go to Home Depot, you grab one of those 5-gallon orange buckets, you fill that with water, that is 30 pounds. So you are basically holding 5 gallons of additional water inside of your body. The amount of pressure that is putting on your freaking heart
It's a
is
lot.
insane.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you their blood pressure is off the charts. So, there are a lot of health risks when you go nuts like that post-show and you put on a ton of weight. All that water is literally just compressing your organs
Yeah.
and forcing them to have to work much harder than they want to. That's why managing your diet post-show, of course, enjoy a couple meals, but get right back on plan to get all that excess water and garbage out of you. And then from there, you should just slowly be progressing week by week, a pound or so each week.
You know what's the beauty of what you just said? A lot of coaches that they coach, they don't know nothing about that, what you just said.
Mhm.
And it's just it's sad because it's a real sport,
It is.
And when you take people's money and you get them to a certain point, anybody can do that. It's managing their health.
Yes.
It's a big risk because you can starve somebody, make him look like a greyhound, and he's gonna look good because he's gonna have abs, but they're just lean, but they have no real muscle, no real tissue.
Sure.
Build, right?
Yeah.
And that's the science of what we do or what you do, because people always tell me, that's what you're eating. I'll be like, yeah, dog, you gotta eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta eat. And well, they told me, okay, dog, you can eat, homie. Like, you have to eat.
You have to.
Carbs are energy. If you use carbs the right way, they're gonna work. Man, you can eat a double with the Oreo shape and fucking get a pump the next day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're managing your weight right.
Yes.
That's the whole point of carbs.
It is.
And people get lost in like, oh man, they told me I can eat one piece of bread or I can eat no bread. You're just like,
Crazy.
dude, what the hell?
Nah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
When it comes to growth, carbs are going to be
The
your
big.
best friend. I mean, that's really going to be the driver of growth. Protein should always be consistent, whether it be
Yeah.
prep or off season. That number pretty much stays the same. You may bump it up a hair
Yeah.
during prep and maybe reduce it slightly in off season, but it's the carbs that are going to do the work for you. The fats, I'm not a big fan of fats, although there are some clients that do great, like on a
Yeah.
keto diet or
Yeah.
a very high fat diet. Most do not, because fats really do a couple things: hormone regulation
Yeah.
and brain power, brain
Yeah.
function. And you don't need a lot of that to
No.
manage those two things. But the one detriment of fats, they slow down your digestion.
Yeah.
So if you pound a bunch of fats earlier in the day, because the whole idea, especially in a growth phase, or really any phase, is you want to eat that meal and have that meal processed
Yeah.
by the time you eat the next one. If you throw in a bunch of fats early in the day, that second, third, fourth meal is literally just backing up on top of
Yeah.
each other because you have not digested that first meal yet. So I try to keep that somewhat to a minimum, especially around my training window,
Yeah.
pre-workout, post-workout, no fats added at all. I want those carbs because they're doing all the work for you during your training and post-training. I want you processing those carbs fast. And if you're not, you're just going to get fat. You're going to store all that as fat. So fats can be in there, but you have to manage when
Big time.
you're eating them. So meal timing, a lot of people don't really pay too close attention
They
to
don't.
meal timing
Yeah.
and the structure of your
You have
meals.
to have one.
You really have to. Pre and post workout, that's where you're going to have 70, 80% of your carb intake will be between those two meals. After that, you could taper the carbs off, and that's where you can add in the fats,
Yeah.
especially at night. You know, if you're waking up hungry all the time, that's not a good thing, because your mind is waking you up. Your sleep quality is going to suffer. So throw in extra fats in that last meal, because they digest slower. It's going to keep you satisfied. It's
Yeah.
going to keep you from waking up a million times a night, because your body's going to tell you
Yeah.
if you're hungry. That's why during prep, your sleep goes to shit so
Yeah.
quickly,
Yeah.
because your body, your mind is constantly waking you up. Bro, you need to go eat. You're starving. Go eat, go eat,
Yeah.
go eat. With the added fats during an off season, at the end of the day, or right before bed, it's like
Oh.
like a baby.
Oh man, it's like with the fats on my prep, I'll do like maybe 10 almonds.
Yeah.
10 out, no more than 10 almonds.
No.
Something just enough to like hold you know what I
Of
mean?
course, that's all it is.
And it's
It's just to satisfy the cravings or the hunger that you're
Yeah.
experiencing during prep.
or like a half
But it's a
bottle.
it's a
Yeah.
small amount. It's not like you're pounding, 4 or 5 tablespoons of peanut butter,
no,
or like
no.
2 avocados.
Yeah,
Like, no,
yeah.
you're gonna go in reverse doing
Yeah.
that. That's not gonna help you at all. You will stay fat during your prep if you're eating that much fats, in my opinion.
How big is it, like as a coach, to actually know what you're saying with the client or with the person? Because people don't understand, it's not just the outer, it's the internal work too. Like you could be damaging somebody if you're not prepping them right,
Of course.
because on that growth, when you're coming back to your normal weight, a lot of people say, oh fuck, I'm gonna eat regular every day. But no, it's you gotta start the prep again, but backwards, when you cut
Exactly.
back,
Yeah, it's called a reverse diet.
Yeah.
So really what you're doing is,
People don't know about that. Explain it.
so
People don't know.
reverse diet is
Yeah.
basically you are taking pretty much your food intake from those last few weeks of prep, and you're just incrementally adding a little bit to it each week.
Yes.
Like you can't go, let's say before prep, your off season, you ended at, say, just throwing out a random number, 500 grams of carbs a day.
Oh, people are gonna think you're crazy right now, and I said that's normal.
Oh yeah.
That's normal.
That's a normal day. So as you come out of that prep and
Yeah.
off that show, you just can't jump straight to 500
No.
grams.
No.
You have to rebuild your metabolism, is really what you're doing. Because
Yeah.
if you just automatically go straight to what you were doing prior, you will get fat. So, just the whole idea of coming off of that show is that you're going to slowly increase your carb intake based on, once again, body weight and visuals as well. But they call it a reverse diet. So like I said, you're kind of taking that last few weeks of prep and just incrementally adding more and more to it, but slow incremental changes, nothing drastic, because otherwise you'll get fat. The whole idea of that that phase, that health phase is what I kind of call it. Um, you have your metabolism is not the same
No,
at the end of prep versus when it started. So
no.
you have to rebuild it. And eventually you will get back to that number. If anything, you'll probably exceed it, but you have to slowly add to it to rebuild the metabolism. You just can't go from 0 to 100 all in one day, because otherwise you get fat. So
Like when people say, "Oh, I'm on a reverse diet," I'm like, "Dog, you even know what that means?" Like,
it sounds like a cool term.
yeah,
I'm
like,
gonna use. I'm gonna throw it out. Oh man, reverse
I'm,
dieting.
I'm carb cycling. I
Yeah.
said, "Do you
Yeah.
actually know what that means?" You know, like it's
Yeah, I'm cycling in and out like every other day. That's my carb cycle. Or it's like, or my reverse diet. Yeah, it's like when I go to in and out, I'm backing into the parking spot. So I'm reverse dieting in that way. So now there are a lot of different interpretations, but there's really only one way of either carb cycling or reverse dieting. So
it's there's no other way around it.
no, there isn't.
It's simple. It's simple, but like people don't think it's that simple. They make it harder and they act like they know, and you're just like, man, really, like you're gonna hurt these people, like physically. Like if they really, really start eating and you don't watch what they're eating, it's dangerous, man.
You got to manage it a little bit as a coach. Obviously, you have to rely on the client
Yeah.
to follow the plan
Yeah.
properly. But yeah, post show, I get it, man. Those cravings are higher than you've ever imagined. They're at its peak. You want to satisfy those. Hopefully, for most, and I'm guilty of this. I make a huge list on my phone of like all these restaurants I'm going to go to post show. I'll get to like one or two, the cravings are satisfied, and I delete all the restaurants and all the things I want to eat. I just delete it out of my phone after one or two meals because I've satisfied the cravings. Some people, the cravings go on for weeks and weeks, and you just have to mind over matter. You got to control it yourself. And as a coach, there's only so much you could do. You can't force them to put the fork down,
Yeah.
but hopefully you can instill, the proper mindset and practices to make sure that they stick to the plan.
Before we wrap this episode, I want to ask you one thing. I have a lot of questions, but
Of course.
this is
Far away. I'll be here as long as you want. I told y'all before we started, it's like you could put me on one subject and I will roll for hours.
Yeah,
So
I love it. I
could get very long-winded sometimes. So sometimes I need somebody to kind of moderate me in check for going too far off.
No. You're good, bro. You're good, man. It's a pleasure because I'm into the sport, and
And that's good.
I lack sometimes because I like to fight too. So I go train and I do both.
I see that too. I see your IG stories. Like, man, I would not want to mess with this guy. I mean, he'd knock me clean out. No. You got a solid punch. I've seen it. I've seen it.
And I do it because mentally sometimes I go to these places. I'm a girl dad, so it's like I feel like I always gotta stay. I gotta protect my girls,
Always.
and my friends. My community, my friends, and my girls. They mean the world.
But that's all, man.
You know what I
That's
mean?
all about, of course.
Yeah, and my people, they bring me up. Like you're my people, George, my people. Everything we got going on, whoever I been on to the podcast, I consider my people.
Of course. Yeah.
I look up to you guys.
family,
You know what I'm saying? We're family, exactly. Like the gym. The last thing is like when I seen you at the gym, I'm walking in, and you're fucking eating this cake that Rachel said. And I'm like, dude.
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
I had a weak moment.
No.
How was that? It was beyond delicious. I don't eat a lot of sweets, and
I noticed that.
yeah, we were talking about Rachel at the Gym Vista.
Yeah.
She's a manager there.
I'm up.
She was kind enough to she asked if I'd ever had sidecar donuts before, from that particular location. Like, no, I haven't, because they're kind of on the gourmet level.
Yeah.
I'm used to like going to like Krispies or just one of the hole in the wall donut shops where you get a glazed donut, you get the generic stuff. Man, she rolled in with these gourmet donuts from Sidecar that were absolutely stellar.
I know.
You can see it on my face, and just like you could tell when somebody doesn't eat a lot of sugar, because literally within 30 seconds I was sweating buckets from that stuff. But it was so good.
Yeah.
And forever thankful for Rachel for her love and support. She is an amazing person.
She's a great woman.
Man, she hyped me up so much during prep. She was a savior in a lot of ways, and she does that for everyone. Everyone that walks into that gym, if they don't feel welcomed by her, that's their fault because she
She
will
should
make
tell
sure
you.
that you feel welcomed. And
Yeah.
if you don't, shame on you for not accepting her love.
Yeah.
Because it's infectious. It's contagious. Her positivity and her love. Sorry to ramble on about
No, no,
Rachel,
you're
but
good.
she is an amazing woman. She
You're good.
is,
You're good because I'm gonna make a post on that right
for
there.
sure.
And as
She deserves all the credit in the world.
Dude,
She's a great person.
her leg workout, right?
I wouldn't want to do it.
Dude, I couldn't walk for like 3 days.
No,
I swear I couldn't
I'm
walk.
not doing it.
Hey, I did it, and I
not
was
doing it.
holding up to the stairs going
Of
upstairs.
course, man. Yeah, like a baby giraffe
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah,
Man,
for
like
real.
Shank is like, what did she just do to me?
Yeah, she's a beast.
She is, man. She trains hard.
Yeah.
I see it in her clients. I see it in her. It's like she's a very impressive coach, trainer, but overall just a great person. The fact that man, she brought me sidecar.
Yeah.
Woo! It was good stuff. It was amazing.
If she digs you, she digs you. She
does.
She's there.
Yeah.
And I can say that all day.
Yeah, she'll make no qualms about it, man. If she's not on your side, you pretty much know it.
Yeah. She'll let you know.
Yeah, if you're within the familia of her, man, you're gonna know. You're gonna feel the love. So,
yeah.
But hey, it's all in what you deserve. If you don't deserve her friendship, you ain't gonna get it.
No, hell no.
No.
She will not budge.
No, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
And I always want to thank the Gym Vista for being family, giving us a home, especially myself, and for the support. Todd, George, thank you for everything you guys do for us. Rachel, James,
Yeah, you guys are the true MVPs of all this, man. The facility that you provide, the love and support that you guys provide, it means more than you could ever imagine having that there for us.
Yeah.
For us to progress, but also just the words of encouragement and everything else, the entire environment, they have created that.
Yes.
We did not create that. We walk into that and we are fortunate enough to experience it. So thank you, Todd.
Yes.
Rachel, James, Adrian,
Yeah.
Jose, the whole group. You guys are the true MVPs.
It's I used to live with Todd. Todd gave me a home, and
he was my first coach too.
Todd's a beast.
Todd's a beast. Oh gosh, man. When he's in the house.
Oh yeah.
You don't hear it very often, man, but when that guy yells at somebody or there's a reason for him to raise his voice, that whole gym comes to a standstill.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Even though no one is controlling the volume on the music that's piping through, literally that music shuts off automatically. Hearing Todd yell, it's like, woo, it's a standstill.
It is. And a lot of people might not agree with it, but he's a good man. He's
an amazing man.
He's a great person. I call him Pops,
Well,
he has a lot of love. He has a lot of love.
And he does. And most people, looking at him with the mohawk, the long beard and everything else, you wouldn't think that he's that way, but he is one of the most caring and giving individuals that I've ever met in my entire life. The fact what he did during COVID for us, having an open gym and everything else, it's like you could never provide enough thanks to him for what he gave us during a very stressful time.
Yes.
There's a lot of unknowns during that time. The fact that he provided an outlet for us to relieve stress, whatever it might be, the fact that he was there for us, I could never thank him enough.
Right? That man and
Great
the
man.
dogs make that gym, huh?
Oh, yep.
And for a minute, I went to this place in my head, and that's the family that's the community, that's the whole field, and I'm forever grateful, man. And they tell me the truth,
They do.
And the gym.
And you need that.
Yeah, you need it. No sugarcoating. And they don't know what they do for people, man. They give life to others in so many ways. George, when he walks in the gym, George walks in. If you guys don't know who George is, he's the main owner of all the TGs, and we're so grateful to him.
Very much so.
He does a lot for us,
Another great man as well. You don't see him very often, but when you see him, he makes a presence.
Yes.
If you don't know who he is, you probably should. If you go to the Gym Vista and you go there consistently, or you've been there for a while, you should really get to know him because he's a tremendous man.
He's a great man, and I always want to thank Gym Vista, all the TGs, especially George and Todd, Rachel, James, Jose, Adrian, everybody that just shows the love to the community, man, when
Even
we
the
walk
clients.
in. Yes.
We got the
Yeah.
best clients
Yeah, we
there as
do.
well. They're
We
super
do.
supportive. They understand what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. We're all in there trying to achieve the same thing.
Yeah.
That gym, we work harder than most. And
Oh,
I think
fact.
it's very
By
clear
far.
when you walk in. Once again, it's not a fitness facility. You're not going to find a spa. You're not going to find a pool or any of that stuff. You're going to find hardcore, machines, free weights. They
Yeah.
got a couple cardio machines here and there, but there's no AC in the summer. You just open the windows, turn a
Yeah.
couple fans on, and hope for the best. So, it's not for the faint of heart. That's for darn sure. And if you're looking for a facility that has a bunch of amenities, this ain't the place. But if you want to go somewhere where the environment is amazing and you want to grow and progress, you can't pick a better gym than that.
The Gym Vista. Thank you guys so much. We're going to wrap this episode today. Thank you again, Brett, for
Thank you.
the knowledge, for sitting down with us, man. It was an honor, man. And thank you.
The honor is all mine. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me. It was an absolute blast. Once again, I could go off on tangents. I could speak forever.
Yeah.
You kept me in check, so I appreciate you very much for allowing me to come on and be a part of this. This was fun.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course. Always,
you,
my
brother.
brother.
You guys have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you so much.